Welcome to Business in Japan Television. With us today is Mr. Andrew Wylegala, who's the Senior Commercial Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Tokyo, and Mr. Takahiko Suzuki, a Commercial Specialist. Now, tourism. The U.S. wants more Japanese tourists to visit. What are you doing to make that happen?
First of all, I wanted to mention that in August of last year, we signed a unique agreement, that is the private sectors of Japan and the United States with government support and involvement, signed the Japan-U.S. Tourism Exchange Year, which will be concluding, in fact, next month. And the idea was to carry out a whole range of functions, seminars, the building of new packages around special themes, such as, say, marathon tourism. In a running mad, crazy country like Japan, there's a great interest in Japanese tourists traveling to the U.S. to participate in a great marathon, such as one of the rock and roll marathons that we have on the West Coast, or one of the famous East Coast marathons, but then to enjoy tourism when they're there. Or gastro-tourism. The Japanese have a great love of food, and what better way to experience another culture than to go to the location itself and sample cuisine. So a lot of that is happening. So the exciting news is that under this Japan Tourism Exchange Year, a target of 3.7 million Japanese tourists was set to be achieved in 2016. But the goal is going to be eclipsed 2 years ahead of schedule. So the new duty of the group is to set a new and more ambitious goal.
You said earlier, you're talking about how the rise of tourism numbers, and you were citing figures from 2012. And that was a year when the yen was at a record high against the dollar and
Correct.
Many other major currencies. And now Japanese tourists aren't going to get quite as good a deal when they're in the U.S. as they were before. Does that mean that you're going to have to work harder to keep the numbers going?
I think it does mean that, unfortunately. The numbers aren't out yet for 2013, so I can't cite comprehensive figures to you, but we are indeed concerned, and we do believe that that very effect, the exchange rate dynamic, will have something of a chilling effect on the numbers of not just tourists headed to the United States, but to other destinations as well. However, I'm happy to say that certain key destinations, such as Guam and Hawaii, report that their numbers are holding firm this year. So that's giving some hope overall.
And Andrew, you're busy promoting another industry which some people might find surprising for the U.S., jewelry, along with some other luxury goods. Again, isn't this kind of a market that would be dominated by the European brands with their, long history and their well-established brands? I mean, what kind of products specifically are we talking about when we talk about U.S. jewelry?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, we're talking about a wide gamut of products when we speak of the luxury sector, of which jewelry is an important part. So it's fashion jewelry, mid-range jewelry, men's and women's watches, handbags. There's a wide range in this. It's comprised by this sector, and I really would like to take aim at one of your points, which is the mention that the Europeans, with good reason, have staked out prime turf in the area of luxury goods, and that is indeed the case. And we always think of many fine European brands, but it is, when we look specifically at jewelry, it is not the case that the Americans are not present. If we just take a look at the top 10 in terms of market share in Japan of jewelry, you'll find two American names right in the mix. Number one, in fact, happens to be an American brand, Tiffany, the very well-known, renowned, and famous one here in Japan. But in addition, Harry Winston is within the top 5 brands here in Japan. In fact, we tend to do better, I believe, in the middle range, the middle tier of the sector. In particular, some of the trendier hip-hop youth designs that are coming out of the U.S. are attracting a lot of attention, doing quite well. So whether you're talking those big names or Michael Kors and Coach, I'd encourage you to keep in mind that there are plenty of household names on the U.S. side, and plenty more we haven't heard about yet, which is precisely the reason we're digging into this area, and we will be certifying for the first time ever a U.S. pavilion at International Jewellery Tokyo in January. In fact, we're not just participating, we are the partner country that the show's organizer has selected, and we're very honored to fulfill that role.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Takehiko. Andrew Wylegala is the Senior Commercial Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Tokyo, and Takehiko Suzuki is a Commercial Specialist. Thank you very much for watching Business in Japan Television.